Okay, yeah, I am recording as well.
Sweet.
Okay, so to start off, would you like to tell us why you want to run for city council?
Sure. First, let me introduce myself. I'm Robert Parkhurst, and I am a father, husband of two teenagers. One of them's a junior in high school. I am a 30-year California resident and owner of a historic Sierra Madre home. And I'm running because I think that we've got lots of opportunity with this city here, but we also have lots of needs. We need to replace our infrastructure. We've got old pipes in the city, the old water pipes. We have a downtown that needs to stay vibrant for us to stay relevant, for us to have restaurants and shops to go to. And then a big focus for me is to protect our natural resources, both from a energy perspective and from right with us being neighbors to the Angeles National Forest. So those are things that are important to me, and I love the city, and I'm excited to be talking with you and others about running for the city council.
Thank you so much. That's fantastic. So you bring up systemic racism on your website, and we were wondering if you could sort of tell us about what changes you would like to see inside Sierra Madre to accommodate that.
Sure. Well, we have put our police in a challenging situation. We have asked them to do more and more over the years. And so in addition to responding to crime, they're responding to homelessness, to substance abuse, to a lot of things where we need to have more of a social dynamic. And so one of the first things I want to try to do is look at the opportunity to diversify our police force and bring in skills and ability to really have the right specialty to the right issue. So that when they respond with someone who can really help de-escalate the situation and help out our residents in the most constructive way.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Is there anything you would change with how the city is responding to the current pandemic?
I think the city has done a fantastic job with the pandemic. I think that having all of the city council meetings as virtual, having our first meeting outside next week is really good. What I would do is I would continue what we're doing. We've given 3 rounds of funding to local businesses to help them weather the pandemic. I'd make sure we continue that. I see us in a long-term situation here. It is very likely that we will not have a widespread vaccine that people can take for a year. That's when then I expect us all to be vaccinated about a year from now. So we've got to do everything we can to keep our businesses together, to keep our residents safe, to make sure that we continue to have a strong a strong town that people want to come to when we get through this pandemic.
Okay.
That's great. Thank you. Now, would you ever encourage your children someday to apply to our esteemed Jost University, located inside of Sierra Madre?
Well, college is an individual choice, and you've got to find the right fit for yourself. And so I really encourage both my kids to look at all of the options out there. And you guys are doing a phenomenal job at Jost. I think that there's a lot that it has to offer, and I think the humor and the production quality and all of that you've got brings a lot in the social aspect. So I think that it's really attractive. But ultimately, college has got to be the choice of the individual. And if I choose the college for them, it's not going to be the best fit.
That was probably the best possible answer you could have given to that
question. Could you tell us a little more about your plan to overhaul the infrastructure in Sierra Madre and how that would fit into the budget?
Sure. So there's 2 components. So let's take a step back and ground this with the pandemic. So we've got to take care of the pandemic first. And we can't lose, we have to make sure that we stay safe So that means, in addition to helping the businesses out, as I mentioned, we've got to make sure we fund our police department and our fire department. Now, after that, we need to really focus on our water pipes. You know, it wasn't that long ago that we were losing 25% of our water. So we need to focus on the areas of highest leak and address those. That's kind of the short term. The long term is we need to have a plan thinking about this 10, 15, 30 years out to replace all of the pipes. Right? If we continue at the current rate, it's going to be 30 years. My objective is to put together a plan and to prioritize it in the budget so that we can do it in half that time. And then, and the pipes is just the starting point. And we have to look at the other parts of the city. There's been a lot of conversation about the library. You know, the library, there are parts of it that aren't safe right now. And so we need to make sure that we make some tough decisions about that library, whether we're going to refurb it or we're going to replace it. And ultimately that's up to the voters to decide. And I will support whatever they decide, but we need to make that decision within the next 2 years. Because if we keep doing it, we're just going to be throwing good money after bad. So we need to, you know, we need to get something on our ballot here in the next 2 years to make that decision of whether we're going to refurbish what we've got or replace it with something new or something in between.
Awesome, thank you. So you've also talked a lot about like sustainable energy on your website,
Yes.
and you also mentioned a potential solar project for Sierra Madre to help us sort of get more on the green grid and saving money and also protecting the environment. Can you sort of talk about your plans for a greener Sierra Madre?
Certainly. There's really three components to it. The first is that over the past year, I've worked with the city to get a 554 kilowatt system over at the spreading basins over right off of Grandview there, right above the ball fields. And so that will go in within the next year. It'll generate more than 1 million kilowatt hours a year, save money starting in year one, and over its lifetime, it'll save the city $5 million. So that's the first project that we've got, and I'd like to identify other ones. Things like solar on the parking lots at City Hall. I'd like to find places where we can put in electric charging stations. I'd also like to find ways that we can continue to encourage energy efficiency, because that's the first place. You know, they often talk about the negawatt, the energy not consumed. And so we need to continue to bring that information to the residents of Sierra Madre of what they can do to increase the efficiency of their windows, to seal leaks, to increase insulation in the roofs. And then the third part is part of our incredible energy provider, the Clean Power Alliance. And I'm the vice chair of the Community Advisory Committee at the Clean Power Alliance. And they're buying increasing amounts of local renewable energy and energy storage. And that's going to be a huge opportunity for us. We've got a project, the Azalea project, which is in neighboring Kern County, which is going to generate enough electricity to power 5 Sierra Madres and create 450 good paying jobs. We need to continue to do that. And we need to continue to have those solar projects, and we need to continue to have those storage projects. And here's an interesting place of where storage and our local economy comes together. And we've got the Montecito light industrial area. And there's an opportunity there that we could consider having battery storage there. There's a need to have that battery storage at times of the day, like right now, you know, between the 3 p.m. and 9 p.m., where energy use spikes up as solar energy comes down. And that's where there's an increasing amount of investment. So those are kind of the 3 areas I'd focus on. It is renewable energy in town, renewable energy around town, and energy efficiency everywhere.
Awesome,
Right.
thank you.
Yeah. So according to niche.com, Sierra Madre is ranked as the 1,366th best suburb for young professionals in America. Could you promise to get us down to 1,365 in the next 4 years?
So from 1,366 to 1,365?
Yes,
It's like
down
moving up
place.
one.
You know, I think we could do that. I think that's doable.
Okay,
You know?
sweet. You solemnly swear.
We're holding you to it.
Yeah, we are.
All right.
So also sort of finally, we wanted to talk to you about voter outreach, especially among young voters who mostly comprise our audience. And sort of we want to know what do you think are some of the best ways for young people like us to really learn about politics, local politics, especially when it's not things that are covered normally. Most people our age sort of see a bunch of like local city measures on the ballot and are like, I don't know what's going on. So, what's your sort of take on that?
Sure. Well, I think that we've got to continue to do outreach to everybody. One of the things that hopefully by the time that this airs, you'll see text messages from me, and that's part of where I'm bringing the campaign. I've got an online presence. I'm on Facebook. I'm texting. I'm a little bit on Instagram. So we need to look at across the board of doing this. We also need to continue to focus on civics. It's one of the challenges we have is that with all of the pressures in school now, civics has kind of gone down a little bit in the focus. And so I think that what I would like to do is to encourage youth to get involved in the city, to understand what's going on, and to participate. And I think that we can do more to find opportunities to get people involved, especially over the next year, of how to bring new ideas to the city. We have most of the people here are on the older side that are the voters, and we need to keep the youth engaged in this. It's critically important at all levels. It is at the initiative level, at the local election level, at the state level, at the national level. It's really critically important. So it's not a short-term thing. We've got to continually reach out to folks and keep them involved and give them reasons to get involved. And so, hopefully Jost University can help me with ideas of what's going to work for you and keep you engaged in our fabulous community.
Absolutely. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming onto the show. We really appreciate you speaking with us. It was awesome to get to talk with you.
It's fabulous speaking with you guys. Thank you for doing this. It's a lot of fun, and you guys provide a valuable service to the youth of this community, and a lot of fun at the same time.
Thank you so much.
Take care.
Yeah. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.